One of my biggest problems with reading is that I never actually applied what I learned to my actual life. Or like I would, but it would only just be the first couple days after finishing a book, and then a couple days or weeks later, I just completely forget everything. And for the entirety of 2022, like I read all of these books, I took notes on all these books, and I never applied a single thing into my life, and that eventually led me to completely stop reading for the rest of 2022. And I didn't pick up the habit of reading every day until this summer, the summer of 2023. And one of the goals I wanted to accomplish was that I wanted to read a bunch of these different self-improvement books. And usually when I start something new, I usually research as much as I can. Like I watch as much YouTube videos as I can, which is something I should probably stop doing and just take action. But in the process of watching a bunch of videos, I stumbled upon an old Hamza video where he talks about remembering what you read. And I've probably watched that video like 10 times, but it was just now that I actually applied what he says into my life. And the thing that caught my attention is that you should always have something to write with when you read and to write down anything of value. But it was there in that moment that I realized taking notes on books is completely pointless unless you do it the right way. I used to take notes by literally highlighting everything that I thought was valuable information, even if I already knew what the information is. Like I was highlighting things that I already knew, and I was just falling into the confirmation bias. And what I realized, or what I started to do, is that I adopted a new way of reading. I started to keep a journal next to me each time I read, and after the end of a chapter or a couple pages, I wrote down the most valuable things I learned and actionable steps on how I could use that information in my own life. And that's also the first actionable step of this video. Always have something to write on and write with when you read, and write down anything of value and how you can use it. That's the important part. If you just take notes, I mean, it's good, it's a step closer in the right direction, but you can take an even bigger step closer by writing down where, when, and how you can use the information you just noted down in your own life. Every time you read a chapter or a couple of pages, think about how you can use that information you just learned in your own life and how you can use it in different places and scenarios. Like, is it something you can use in your personal life or in work or in school? Is this something that you can use to be more productive, or you could potentially use for a YouTube video? And how you can use a certain principle from a certain book. Like, how can I use principle 10 from How to Win Friends and Influence People? Actually, what even is principle 10? Oh, it's the only way to get the best of an argument is to avoid it completely. One of my favorite ones. Well, the next time I get into an argument with my mom about why I didn't do the dishes, instead of complaining to her and getting mad at her for no reason, I will control my temper and I will consider that the other person is right, and in this case they are, and I will see the situation through my mom's point of view. Okay, so she just came home from a hard day of work and all she wants to do is go to bed, and then she sees a pile of dishes that I was supposed to put away. Not only will it make your life better because you're actually applying lessons you've learned into your own life, but it makes the process of taking notes easier because you'll be more conscious on the things that you highlight. If you're a victim of the same problem I had of highlighting everything you read, then this is something you should probably do as soon as you finish watching this video from start to finish. The second way to help you read for implementation is to always have a reading intention. Every time I start reading a new book or chapter, I always have an intention of what I want to learn or gain from reading that specific part of the book. So right now I'm reading this book, Lincoln on Leadership by Donald Phillips. And I have the intention of how I can become a better leader so I can make better videos. And I guess also because I'm taking student leadership next year, but the book is about how and what made Lincoln such a good leader. And the book talks about how Lincoln handled people, what type of character he had, and how he approaches his endeavors in life, and how he communicates with his followers. So I have the reading intention of how I can talk to you better and make myself more relatable to you, and how I can develop my character so I can become a more resilient person, how I can approach my endeavors like the strong leader Lincoln was, and how I can communicate my message better in my videos. Having this reading intention will also help you relate to the book more. It will help you absorb yourself into the book, so you're not just reading to feel productive, you're reading to be productive. And being able to relate to the book will help you connect prior knowledge and past experiences from your life with the new information that you're reading and learning from, which will further expand your way of thinking. So every time you sit down for your next reading session, think about what you want to gain from reading this book. Like, you already had a reason for being interested in picking up the book in the first place. So why not think about specifically what you want to learn from each section and each chapter of the book? Because otherwise, why are you even reading the book? And that is pretty much everything I wanted to talk about in this video. I hope you found it interesting and valuable. It's just, reading is one of the most powerful and even fun things that you can do in life, and I really want you to experience the fun of learning if you're not already. You want to learn not to just help yourself, but to help others too. I also want to announce that since school will be starting soon, my uploads will be less frequent. However, my goal is 1 to 2 videos a week. Hopefully every Monday I will have some sort of summary posted, whether it's an Andrew Huberman summary or a summary of a different book or a summary of a different podcast. We'll see. With that being said, become the best version of yourself.